Have you ever thought, I'm doing everything right, so why do I still feel stiff, tired, or just plain worn out after my walks? You put on your shoes, take your daily stroll around the block or the park, maybe even for an hour or more, because everyone says walking is the best exercise, right? But what if I told you that walking too much, or walking the wrong way, after 60 might actually be aging your body faster? That might sound surprising, even frustrating, especially if you've been walking diligently for years thinking it was the healthiest thing you could do. You're not alone. A lot of seniors believe walking more means living longer, but here's the truth. It's not just about moving more, it's about moving smarter, and that's what we're diving into today. This isn't just another get off the couch video. This is a wake-up call and a guide to doing things better. We're going to talk about why walking too much can backfire, how it can affect your joints, posture, and energy levels, and, most importantly, what you can do instead to keep your body strong, your mind sharp, and your independence intact. So let's talk about the first issue, something that often gets overlooked: joint wear and tear. Now, don't get me wrong, walking, in general, is great. It's low impact, easy to do, and it keeps you moving. But here's the part that most doctors won't say unless you're already dealing with arthritis or joint pain: repetitive, unbalanced walking, especially on hard surfaces or for long distances without variation, can slowly break down the cartilage in your knees, hips, and ankles. Think of it like this. Imagine your knees as the shock absorbers of your car. If you drive over the same rough road day in and day out, eventually those shock absorbers are going to wear out faster. And if your muscles aren't strong enough to help support your movement, guess what? All that pressure goes straight to your joints. And over time, instead of helping you age gracefully, that daily walk might actually be grinding away at your ability to move pain-free. Have you ever come home from a walk and felt more tired than refreshed? Or maybe your knees ache at night? That's not your imagination. That's your body telling you something's off. But here's the good news: you don't have to stop walking. You just need to rethink how you walk and what you're doing in addition to it. Let's take a look at your posture. This is the second big reason walking too much can cause more harm than good. As we get older, our posture naturally starts to change. Our shoulders may round forward, our heads might tilt down, and the spine begins to lose some of its natural curve. This is normal. But if you're walking for long periods of time with poor posture, you're training your body into that hunched position. And worse, you're making it harder for your lungs to expand fully, which means less oxygen getting to your brain and muscles. That alone can drain your energy and speed up fatigue. Imagine this. You're out for your walk, but instead of standing tall, you're leaning slightly forward, your arms barely swinging, your steps short and stiff. That's not exercise anymore, that's stress on your spine. And over time, that hunched posture can become permanent. It affects your balance, your breathing, and even your mood. So what's the fix? Before you even step outside, take a minute to stand up straight. Pull your shoulders back gently, look ahead instead of down at your feet, and engage your core just a little. It might feel awkward at first, but that simple shift can change everything. You'll walk more efficiently, you'll breathe easier, and you'll protect your spine rather than strain it. Now, let's talk about the third reason. Walking too much can age you faster: muscle loss. Here's the thing most people don't realize. Walking doesn't build muscle. It uses the muscles you already have, yes, but it doesn't strengthen them in a meaningful way, especially after 60, when muscle. By exploring what you can do instead. Because here's the truth, movement is essential, but it has to be the right kind of movement for your body at this stage of life. You deserve to feel energized, not drained, strong, not sore, capable, not cautious. So let's talk about alternatives that work with your body, not against it. One of the best things you can do instead of long, repetitive walks is short, intentional movement sessions spread throughout the day. Think of these like movement snacks, little bursts of activity that gently wake up your muscles and improve your circulation without stressing your joints or wearing you out. For example, you might do 5 minutes of gentle squats, standing marches, or heel raises before breakfast. Later in the day, you can do a few seated leg lifts or shoulder rolls while watching TV, and in the evening, a slow-paced walk around your living room or yard, just to keep things flowing. Each of these micro-movements adds up, and because they're low impact and varied, your body doesn't fall into the wear and tear trap that long, repetitive walking can cause. Another smart alternative? Balance and coordination training. This type of movement not only helps you stay physically independent, but it also sharpens your brain. And the best part? You don't need any fancy equipment. Standing on one leg while brushing your teeth, stepping side to side over a towel on the floor, or practicing heel-to-toe walking in the hallway are all fantastic ways to challenge your balance gently. These movements keep your nervous system sharp, your core engaged, and your muscles alert. They also dramatically reduce your risk of falling, which is one of the most important keys to longevity and independence after 60. And let's not forget about mobility and stretching. If walking is causing you stiffness or fatigue, it could be because your joints and muscles aren't moving through their full range. Over time, our bodies tighten up if we don't intentionally loosen them. A tight hip or stiff ankle might not seem like a big deal, but it changes how you walk, and that ripple effect can lead to pain in your knees, back, or even your neck. You can start small. Just a few minutes a day of gentle stretching can change everything. Reach your arms overhead while standing tall. Slowly roll your shoulders back. Do ankle circles while seated. These small moves create space in your joints, improve blood flow, and help you feel lighter on your feet. Now, for those who want to replace long walks with something equally calming and beneficial, I can't recommend Tai Chi or gentle yoga enough. These practices combine slow, deliberate movement with deep breathing and body awareness. They're excellent for improving balance, strength, and flexibility without overstressing your system. They also engage the mind, which helps reduce anxiety and sharpen focus. That's something a mindless hour-long walk can't offer. One of the best parts? These practices meet you where you are. You don't need to twist yourself into a pretzel or memorize complicated routines. Just moving slowly and intentionally, whether standing or seated, can unlock tight muscles, soothe your nervous system, and gently build strength. Now, what about cardiovascular health? Many people worry that if they cut back on long walks, they'll lose heart health benefits. But the good news is, your heart doesn't need hour-long slogs to stay strong. Interval-based movement, short bursts of activity followed by rest, can be just as effective, if not more. Try this. March. In place for 30 seconds, rest for 30 seconds, and repeat 4 or 5 times. That's a few minutes of movement that gets your heart rate up, but it's far gentler than forcing yourself through a 3-mile walk when your knees or hips are complaining. And here's the beautiful truth. When you move smarter, you recover faster. You have more energy for the things that truly matter. Playing with grandkids, gardening, socializing, or even just feeling good in your body. Isn't that the go? The nervous system. It's something we don't often think about when we go out for a walk, but it quietly plays a huge role in how our body reacts to physical activity, especially as we get older. Now, imagine your nervous system as the command center that tells your body when to move, when to rest, how to respond to stress, and how to recover. When everything is balanced, you feel energized, calm, and clear-headed. But when it's overstimulated, especially by repetitive movement or overexertion, it can leave you feeling exhausted, achy, and even anxious. And here's the surprising part. Long walks, especially when done in a fatigued or stressed state, can tip that system into overdrive. You might think you're helping your body by walking for an hour or more every day, but if your nervous system isn't given time to reset, that walking turns into stress. Your heart rate stays elevated longer, your sleep might be more restless, and you may feel more mentally foggy afterward instead of clear and refreshed. This is where variety becomes crucial. Your body and your brain crave change. So rather than just heading out for the same walk on the same route at the same pace every single day, try switching it up. Some days, take a shorter walk and follow it with 5 minutes of deep breathing. Other days, skip the walk entirely and do 10 minutes of gentle stretching or a standing yoga flow. You're still moving, but you're giving your nervous system a break from monotony. That variety stimulates your brain, soothes your stress response, and actually helps your body recover faster and age more gracefully. And here's something even more powerful. Walking slower can sometimes be better than walking longer. When you slow down and become more mindful, feeling your feet touch the ground, observing your breath, taking in your surroundings, you turn a simple walk into a calming, body-healing activity. You reduce cortisol, the stress hormone. You improve circulation. You build awareness of your posture and gait. It's not just about the distance, it's about how you move. Let's say you're used to walking 3 miles a day. Try walking just 1 mile instead, but walk it with presence. Keep your shoulders down, swing your arms naturally, breathe deeply and notice how your body feels. You might be surprised at how much better you feel afterward, compared to dragging yourself through those extra 2 miles just to hit a goal. Now, let's talk about another side effect of walking too much that often gets swept under the rug: fatigue and the energy cost of recovery. This is something no one warns you about when you're told to just walk more. For younger folks, recovery after a walk is barely noticeable. But after 60, our recovery system slows down. Muscles take longer to bounce back, and energy stores replenish more slowly. If you're constantly pushing yourself to walk longer or faster than your body wants to go, you're spending more energy than you're regaining. And over time, that adds up. It's like spending $100 a day when you're only earning 60, you're going to end up in a deficit, and that shows up as chronic fatigue, soreness, and even weakened immunity. A better approach? Focus on energy return instead of energy drain. That means choosing movement that gives you more back than it takes out of you. A 15-minute Tai Chi session in the garden, a few minutes of mobility work after your morning coffee, even dancing to your favorite music in the living room counts. These movements wake you up, not wear you down. And they still give you the benefits of better circulation, joint health, and mental clarity, without stealing your stamina. You don't have to give up your daily walk, but give yourself permission to skip it when your body feels tired. Trade it for something lighter. Let movement become a gift to your body, not a punishment or obligation. That's how you build resilience, not by doing more, but by doing better. And that brings us to one of the most overlooked reasons walking too much